Dateline Abu Dhabi for UFC 308. Ladies and gentlemen, boy, do we have a good headliner for you this evening for the featherweight strap. That is between the Georgian Spaniard Ilia Topuria taking on the blessed one, that is Max Holloway, coming off of a monumental victory and a sensational KO to win the BMF strap at UFC 300 over the highlight Justin Gaethje. Cannot wait for a clash here. The spectators, the fans have labeled this the best boxers inside the UFC bout here. This fight clock is brought to you by Toyo Tires, official tire of UFC. Topuria in the black and gold, befitting a champion. Holloway in the floral and white. Good head movement by Topuria early on. Very much moves his head the likes of a professional boxer, that low stance. Holloway, good movement. Oh, good kick to the body by Max. Max starting to pepper him up here. Topuria tightening up the defense, marching him down. Oh, good shot to the body by Topuria. Down goes Holloway. Herb Dean's taking a close look. Right hook upstairs. Down goes Holloway. Herb Dean stops it. Ilia Topuria, the first man to KO Max Holloway. Oh my gosh. Why? No! Ah! Ilia Topuria is going to finish Max Holloway at UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. This is a hard video for me to make, man. I really like watching Ilia Topuria. I think he's an outstanding fighter. I've been very high on him since he's came into the UFC. This is hard for me. I got Maxie Baby up on the poster back here. He is one of my favorite fighters of all time, but I got to pick with my brain and not with my heart. Last night, I was scrolling on YouTube and I saw Ilia Topuria post a video. And it was basically him training, preparing for Max Holloway. And he had a sparring partner that was emulating Max Holloway. And Ilia basically put out the game plan like a G and is like, here's what I'm going to do, Max. Go ahead and stop it. And this just kind of reconfirmed the thoughts that I already had about this matchup. And that is that Ilia is going to finish Max. Now, it's not going to be a starching Max asleep, snoozing on the canvas knockout. I believe that this is going to come by Ilia investing in the body, beating up the body to where Max is hurt. Ilia starts to land some shots upstairs, and the referee has to step in and call a stop to the contest. That's how I see this fight playing out. Now, in this video, I want to break this down and explain why I'm deciding and picking Ilia Topuria to win this fight. And I had sat up here and said, look, early prediction, I think Max Holloway can win this fight. I really think he can. Look, the adjustments that he's made in his career, all these different things, but it just comes down to the fact that Ilia Topuria is the best fighter that Max Holloway has ever faced. He is. He's the best fighter that he's ever fought. And we're going to talk about Max and some of the different things as we get to that. But I want to start with Ilia and how I think he's going to beat Holloway. There's no secret. He put out the game plan. It's to invest in the body. Teddy Atlas in the boxing world has always brought this to everyone's attention in terms of water in the basement. You hear him say this. And what is that? Beating up the body, beating up the body. What does it do? It tires you out, beats your body up, makes it hard to breathe, starts to bring your hands down, and then it opens up the shots upstairs to where you can really hurt your opponent. That's exactly what Ilia is going to do in this fight against Max Holloway. It's going to be his game plan. He knows Max is durable as hell. He knows Max has never been put out. And he knows I can't just bank on coming in and doing that. I need to invest intelligently here. So he is going to attack the body of Max Holloway. Now, Max can know that this is going to happen. The question is, how is Max going to stop it? Because when you look at this, I mean, Ilia is a marauder, man. He is a mean dude in there. This is a guy that's fought at 155. You saw when he knocked out Jai Herbert. This is a guy that has a very, very low stance. He's, in my opinion, the best boxer in MMA, the best traditional boxing base as well. The way he stands, that good high guard defense, the way he tucks his chin. There is not a lot of openings. And what Holloway loves to do is mix up his targets. He loves to attack the body, loves to attack upstairs, and he loves to just change levels. The problem is Ilia doesn't really give you much of anything. He basically gives you a leg kick and then a jab. And outside of that, the only shot that has been the kryptonite to Ilia is that left high kick. We saw Jai Herbert drop him with this. Even on the local pro scene, he was dropped with this shot. And outside of that, if you are not able to land that shot, you're in a world of trouble and Ilia Topuria will break you. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, Max just put on an incredible performance against Justin Gaethje. And you're correct. And I sat up here and said for months and months and months and took a lot of heat in the community saying Max Holloway was not only going to beat Gaethje, but he was going to finish him. And shout out to Holloway, because if it wasn't for that KO at the last second, I would have gotten the pick right. But my exact prediction was it being a finish. So it turns out I was kind of right in that regard. But it was the fact that Gaethje had never fought somebody that was significantly faster than him. Max coming up from 45 to 55. He properly put on the weight. And I was just like, Max is going to be able to kind of just dance around him and play this game and float around on the outside. He's not going to be able to do that against Ilia Topuria for 5 rounds. He's not going to be able to do it. And what we've seen from Max Holloway over the past few fights at 145, right? Because you got to remember, this fight's at 45. This is not at 55, obviously. Anytime we see a fighter go up in weight and then come back down, there's a lot of questions, right? You got used to a different lifestyle where you put on extra amounts of mass. You were feeling good in that new frame you have. You felt more energized. You felt more powerful. And now you are taking some of that away, because in order to get back to 45, I assume Max is going to probably have to, some of that muscle is going to be sacrificed that he put on to go up and fight Justin Gaethje. So to say that he's going to come back down and have the same pop on his shots, that's not realistic. But for me, it's not even so much that. It's the chin, right? Against Arnold Allen, against Korean Zombie, we saw Max get hit in those fights, and it just wasn't the same Max from back in the day where Max used to eat a shot at 45 like it was nothing. He used to eat it like it was nothing. And he's getting hit by these guys, and it has way more of an effect than it ever has. And I understand Max and his team, they have done an amazing job, which I've recognized multiple times, the evolution in his style, the switching of stances, being a lot more elusive, not just kind of pressure boxing the whole time, skirting around on the outside, implementing kicks into his game. But the issue is, if you are just standing in front of Ilia Topuria and you are trying to have a boxing match, it's a real problem. It's just going to be a real problem. And I know Max Holloway has implemented kicks into his game. We've seen the spinning back kick that, he's always really thrown, but he landed it on Justin Gaethje. He's got a good knee up the middle that he likes to throw. He does throw the kicks to the body like we saw against Allen. He does have some tools that he can use, but he's not a devastating leg kicker. And Alexander Volkanovski has been known for being a really, really good leg kicker, and it just didn't matter against Topuria. It just didn't matter. Ilia Topuria actually kind of won the leg kick battle. After the first round, Volk's calf was almost compromised. It was welted from the calf kicks of Ilia Topuria, which I think he caught Volkanovski very off guard with that. But to say that Max is going to come into this fight and he's just going to all of a sudden be this devastating leg kicker to where he can really work at the base of Ilia Topuria, I don't think that's very realistic. Even the way Max throws kicks, he's just not digging in on them. I don't know why that is. I don't know if he's afraid of them being checked or what the deal is, but he doesn't really commit on the leg kicks. He kind of flicks them out there, but he doesn't really put a lot of power on them. And if you're not giving Ilia Topuria a lot to think about, you're in trouble. This man is a ferocious power puncher. And I understand that Max just fought Justin Gaethje, which, yes, that's a pretty good opponent to take on to get you ready for a fight like this. But Topuria is way better technically than Justin Gaethje. Now, I want to be very, very clear. I'm not saying that Gaethje's incredibly exciting. Justin Gaethje is a very dangerous fighter. I'm not taking anything away from Gaethje. The point that I'm trying to make is Ilia is a lot more technical than he is. His boxing is better and more, Gaethje has better leg kicks. But what I would say the biggest difference is Ilia Topuria is not as reckless and his defense is way better than Gaethje. There's not as many openings. He's very compact. He doesn't give you a lot of targets. And Max Holloway has struggled in the past with shorter fighters. We've seen it against Volkanovski 3 times. Even if you thought Max won the second fight, it was still really, really close. He landed some good shots on Volkanovski, but these shorter guys that tend to punch with Holloway tend to have a lot of success. Now, the one thing that Holloway has adjusted, compared to the old Holloway is he doesn't necessarily just move forward and throw a bunch of stuff at you. He doesn't let you kind of beat him to the punch and throw with him anymore. He kind of just picks and pokes, where before he would just kind of, the volume. And now it's a lot more pick and poke to where he's a lot less open to being countered. The issue is Holloway has to be perfect for 25 minutes to win this fight. I don't think he knocks out Ilia Topuria. This isn't a Korean zombie that's already made up his mind that he's going to retire and he's trying to go out with a bang and running forward like a zombie. And I don't see him being able to stand in there for 5 rounds with this guy. And not only, that's just the striking. You know, Holloway has good grappling. He's got good jiu-jitsu of his own defensively. We don't really see him use it offensively. Ilia Topuria has outstanding grappling. He's got good submissions. He has very good wrestling. I don't think that we see him level change unless Max is able to clip him and is getting the better of him on the feet, which I really don't see that even happening. I don't think we see much grappling in this fight. But if we did, I give the advantage to Topuria. But again, you know, when you're not used to grappling, you know, in fights, it wears on you. It makes you tired. And if you're Topuria, are you really going to come into this with a grapple-heavy approach and then be willing to, you know, risk not being able to finish Max that way, and now you're tired standing in front of a fast, elusive Holloway? I don't think so. The thing that scares me is Holloway going up to 55, putting on all that size, coming back to 45 to where he's getting hit by Zombie. He's getting hit by Allen. And at 45, man, these shots are having an effect on him that they didn't used to have. Now, I'm not saying Max Holloway can't win this fight, because if Max is going to win this fight, he's got to be perfect. He has to be perfect. He has to turn this into a kickboxing fight. You can't just sit there and box with Ilia Topuria. I know Max says he's the best boxer in the UFC, and he has outstanding hands. But in terms of best boxer, I'm looking at who has outstanding boxing defense, who has really good footwork, who has really outstanding head movement, who throws in combinations. That's Ilia Topuria. You could maybe give Max Holloway the footwork advantage, but in terms of the defense, the head movement, the combinations, the way he mixes up to the body, to the head, the ferociousness, Topuria's got that traditional boxing style, man. He does. And if Max Holloway comes into this and he turns it into a kickboxing fight to where he's floating around and stinging on the outside, I could see him having some success. The issue is, whenever you drop back down in weight, the body's going to be frail, it's going to be brittle, and I think that Ilia Topuria is going to put water in the basement. I think he's going to attack the body of Max Holloway. I think that he's going to invest there and then bring the combinations upstairs. One of Ilia's best combinations is he'll shoulder roll. He throws that left hook to the body, right hook upstairs, and then he'll come back to the body with a left hook, or he'll throw another left hook upstairs. He is absolutely devastating. Don't be surprised when he starts to implement some of those calf kicks as well to try to neutralize some of the movement of Holloway, to not allow him to just skirt around on the outside the whole time. This is a terrifying fight for Max Holloway. This is the scariest fight of Max Holloway's career. And if you even go back to the Yair Rodriguez fight, I know it's a close fight. I know Yair Rodriguez is a tough customer. But you see the way that things are different for Max at 45, man. They're different. You get older, you know, you move up to 55, you add on weight, you're cutting back down. If this fight was at 55, maybe I wouldn't feel this way. But the fact that he's coming back down to 45 against a guy who I think has supreme confidence, has outstanding skill, and truly has the belief that he could go in there and beat anybody, a guy like that is really dangerous. Now, I know Ilia says he's going to beat Holloway in the first round. It's not going to happen in the first round, right? I think it would happen in the, third, fourth round maybe. But this is a very, very dangerous fight for Max Holloway. And the Holloway fans out there, they're going to say, no, Max is just going to pick him apart. Ilia Topuria, he's not that guy. He's not that good. Ilia Topuria is absolutely that good. He is absolutely spectacular. He's sensational. He's honestly a phenom at featherweight. I think he's one of the best featherweights we've ever seen. In terms of skill for skill, the power, the way that he ran through Alexander Volkanovski like that, one of the greatest featherweights of all time, a guy that's beaten Max Holloway multiple times, made it look very easy. And I know in the first round, Volkanovski was doing well. He was skirting around the outside. He was landing some jabs. But Ilia Topuria was playing it very smart. He was willing to give up the round, to invest in beating up that leg of Volkanovski, to neutralize the movement, make him a stationary target, because you saw in the second round how aggressive Topuria was. He closed him down, stalked him down. I think Max is going to have a hard time backing up Ilia Topuria. This is a very, very steep hill for Max Holloway to climb. And I am a huge Holloway fan. I don't know how he beats Topuria in this fight. I do know how he beats him. But when I'm looking at it, I just don't know that he can implement a game plan like this. And I know people want to say, well, Topuria, who's he beaten? Other than Volkanovski, he beat Josh Emmett, and it was a 5-round decision. And again, Josh Emmett, He's got crazy power, and Ilia Topuria's fighting style is very different. He's a boxing-based guy who's low in his stance and fights on the inside on the pocket. He doesn't do his work at range on the outside to where he could just pick and poke at Josh Emmett, right? It's styles make fights. That's what makes the sport so interesting. And then he's out there against Bryce Mitchell, who has the grappling threat. And look, it is what it is. This is a very, very dangerous fight. It's a dangerous fight for Ilia because I think Max Holloway presents some challenges with the speed, the elusiveness, the confidence after finishing Gaethje. But I got to go Ilia in this one. I think Ilia is able to get this done. I think he's a newfound, he's got like this newfound confidence to him. The guy is an absolute star. He's got all the makings of being one of the biggest stars in the sport. People are like, oh, he's too arrogant. Everyone's complaining about Topuria. Not everyone, a lot of people are, that he's annoying and this and that. Well, Topuria gets the game. It's Conor McGregor marketing 101 for the fight game. You got people that support you. Topuria has. Now he's got people that don't like him. And now everyone's going to be tuning in to watch the guy fight. So the guy gets the game. He's dangerous. He's confident. He has tremendous skills. He has tremendous power. This is a dangerous fight. I think Ilia Topuria is able to finish Max Holloway. But I want to hear from you all down in the comments. Like this video. Comment your thoughts below. Do you agree with me or do you think Holloway gets it done? Subscribe to the channel. Help your boy out. I would appreciate it. See you next time.